Hi everyone, welcome to the fourth webinar of a series of webinars conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming management case study examinations happening in November 2022. And as I highlighted earlier, in this webinar, I will be talking about what you need to do when it comes to developing confidence before the exam, as well as whilst how to maintain the same level of confidence whilst you are attempting your real exam. Okay, so session outcomes are as I highlighted earlier, I'll be talking about how you are supposed to develop your confidence. And on top of that, I will be reiterating the comments made by the examiner, because we need to listen to what the examiner expects, and we are supposed to replicate the same expectations when attempting your exams. So that's exactly what I'm gonna look at tonight. So let me talk about the webinars which we have had. We have had 3 webinars so far. So in the first one, I provided a study plan, and on top of that, I highlighted the technical details pertaining to the MCS exam, what you're supposed to do, what your role is, and what type of answers you are supposed to provide, and likewise. And in the second video, or the second webinar, I conducted a pre-scene analysis session. So usually we provide 4 pre-scene analysis videos under the paid content, and out of these 4, 1 video was conducted. And in the third one, which is the most important webinar out of the 4, which is the answering technique webinar, where I highlighted what you need to do when developing answers. I highlighted a methodology which you need to practice before the exam, and I want you guys to stick to the same method, because if you do, then the quality of your answer will significantly improve, and on top of that, you'll have the opportunity to manage your time appropriately as well. So you will be providing complete answers at your exam, because once you provide the complete answers, your chances of passing the exam, MCS exam particularly, becomes extremely high. So the chances will significantly improve if you stick to this. So if you had missed out on any of these videos, there's absolutely nothing to worry. You can refer to our website and access the recorded versions of these webinars under the free content. All right. And in tonight's webinar, I'm going to talk about what you need to do before preparing for the exam. So let me also highlight the 6-week study plan, which I explained in the first webinar. So according to the study plan, we are in week number 4. So in week number 4, things are getting a bit serious. So up until now, you should have gone through all the additional material which we have provided, the annotated pre-scene, the pre-scene analysis videos, 4 videos in total. And you should have referred to all the financial analysis, industry analysis, and top 10 issue slides. And on top of that, you should have attempted mock 1 and 2, at least develop the answer plans based on the suggested answers of mock 1 and 2. And this week onwards, you need to start attempting mock 3, 4, and 5. So in the upcoming week, you are supposed to attempt mock 3 under exam conditions. So you need to figure out a time where you can allocate 3 hours at a stretch and attempt the entire mock under exam conditions. Okay, so if you have already invested on our products, especially the value pack or the value plus packages, then you are in a position to attempt these mock exams under real exam conditions via our exam platform. So once you do that, once you allocate 3 hours of your time, once you're done with mock number 3, what you need to do is according to the study plan, we have asked you to develop answer plans based on the suggested answers of mock 3. But in order to make your life easier, we are developing, or we are providing answer plans as well. Okay, so you need not develop answer plans on your own. Instead, you can totally rely on the answer plans which we are providing. So you need not spend time developing answer plans. You can simply refer to the answer plans which we have provided. And after you are done with the mock, you are supposed to watch the videos pertaining to MCS mock number 3, where there are 4 videos. which are considered as master classes. So we have conducted 4 master classes covering the entire answer of mock number 3. So by watching these watching these 4 videos or master classes, you are in a position to understand the content of the answer, what type of an answer you are supposed to provide. And in these videos, whilst explaining the answers of for each and every task of mock number 3, I have also covered theory as well as application, because at your exam, you are supposed to be conversant with theory, but just because you know your theory, you can't pass the exam. You need to improve your application skills, especially if you are coming through an exemption route, such as the Master's Gateway program, or if you're coming through the finance leadership program or the FLP route, then you need to be really conversant about how to apply this knowledge uh, in your real exam. So if you watch these 4 videos, then you are in a position to figure out what type of theoretical content are tested and how you are supposed to apply this knowledge in order to gain full marks at your exam. So these things are covered in the 4 videos. So in order to understand the suggested answers, the answer structures, as well as application, how to apply or how to improve your application skills, you are supposed to watch these videos. So although I've said that things are getting serious, you are just supposed to allocate 3 hours to attempt the mock. Other than that, it's a matter of just watching the 4 videos and going through the answer plan, which is developed based on the suggested answer. So that's it. That's the only thing which you are supposed to do within this week. All right. So that's the same thing which you need to do in the 5th week as well, because you are supposed to do mock number 4 in the upcoming week, not the week which is starting from today, but the next week. So the week after, you are supposed to do mock number 4, same methodology, attempt the mock under our exam platform by allocating 3 hours. Then you are just supposed to watch the 4 videos, refer to the answer plan based on the suggested answer, and on top of that, you will receive feedback. Once you are done with the mock, you will receive tutor feedback within 48 hours, and this is the type of tutor feedback you would receive. As you could see, for each and every paragraph, we have provided evaluations, and in these evaluations are not simple ones, but we have done an in-depth evaluation, and as you can see, for the entire paper, for the entire answer scripts, we have made 57 comments, okay, highlighting whether your answers are up to standard or not. And at the very end, we provide a mark breakdown. Thereby you are in a position to figure out how you had performed under each and every subtask, and we will be also highlighting the success rates under each and every subtask, which helps you to understand whether you have met the threshold for each and every subtask. So the threshold is 54%. If you have gained marks above 54%, then you have achieved the pass mark for that certain subtask. So if you look at this set of answers provided, this student had only achieved the pass mark in 4 of the subtasks. So by looking at this, you are in a position to figure out which areas or which syllabus areas or you need to work on, and on top of that, how you are supposed to focus on application. So your life becomes easy once you receive this feedback. You know for a fact where you need to improve upon. Then on top of that, we are providing the answer plan. So simply refer to the answer plan according to, for instance, if your marks for task 1, subtask B is bad, according to this, the second subtask or subtask B, the student had only achieved a success rate of 44%. In such a context, you are simply supposed to refer to the answer plan. Then you would know what type of an answer you are supposed to develop. Once you have watched the video, then you'd further understand what type of knowledge you should have represented in your answer. Then you can significantly improve your answer. So this is and at the very end, we will indicate whether the student had passed or failed, and at the we will be providing general comments as well. So that's the type of tutor feedback you would receive. So although things are getting serious, you don't need to spend too much time on studies. Instead, just focus on attempting the mock. Everything else is handled by us. Okay. All right, then moving on to the first part of tonight's session, where I'm going to take you through the examiner's comments. So the examiner provides you guys with tips so that you are in a position to significantly improve your chances of passing. So good answers require relevance to the requirement. So I highlighted how to do this, how to develop answers which are totally in line with what is highlighted within the requirement. I covered this area in webinar number 3, answer planning technique. So when developing answer plans, I said you are supposed to summarize the requirement in an easily understandable manner, so that once you are done with developing the answer plan, you are supposed to go back and refer to the task and figure out whether you have fulfilled all the requirements stipulated within the task. Because under each and every subtask, although there is going to be a single line or a 2-line sentence as a requirement in it, you would see 2 or 3 requirements, put together in one single sentence. So you should be in a position to figure out the exact requirement, how many, how many parts are there within the requirement, and based on this you have to address all these concerns. So if you stick to our answer planning technique, then the relevance will improve significantly, because your answer plan will be 100% related to the requirement. Okay, so that's that. And on top of that, the examiner says that you need to have a necessary level of technical knowledge of the syllabus content. So you need to be conversant with E2, P2, and F2. So I said that we have developed 12 videos covering the answers of mocks 3, 4, and 5. So in these videos, this is what we are covering. We are covering technical knowledge, thereby teaching you theory through the exam questions and the suggested answers. Okay, so you need to possess technical knowledge. So that's exactly why we have developed these videos. And on top of that, you need to have the ability to apply this knowledge to a specific scenario. So again, why are these 12 videos I'm talking about? We have highlighted how to apply your knowledge as well. So as I told you earlier, there's absolutely no point of just knowing your theoretical concepts if you lack an understanding about how to apply this knowledge in your answers. So this application is covered within these 12 videos as well. So if you watch these 12 videos, your technical knowledge related requirements will be fulfilled. And on top of that, application will improve significantly as well. Okay. And you are supposed to provide well-structured answers using paragraphs. So how are you supposed to provide well-structured answers? By sticking to the answer planning technique or answering technique, which we highlighted in webinar number 3. So if by any chance you missed out on that video, it's of utmost importance that you go watch it and just refer to it under the free content via our website. Okay, so well-structured answers using paragraphs. So I highlighted this in webinar number 3. You are not supposed to provide answers in bullet points. You are not supposed to provide single sentenced answers instead, or single lined answers. Instead, whenever you are providing answers, you need to do it via paragraphs. So for instance, if you within your answer, if for a certain question you are trying to develop 7 or 8 answer points, let's assume there are 8 answer points in your answer plan. So in such a context, you need to have 8 paragraphs in your answer. Don't write the entire answer in one single paragraph. Then the invigilator will find it extremely hard to fish for information. So once you, because the examiner takes about just something like 5 to 7 minutes to mark your entire paper. They are involved with speed reading. Okay, they are specialists in doing this. So in such a context, let's try to make their life easier. Let's try to be friendly with the invigilator. Then you are in a position to generate a positive attitude in the mind of the invigilator, which is at the end of the day going to benefit you significantly. So just stick to the guidelines stipulated by the examiner. You are supposed to provide answers in paragraphs, and the examiner says you are supposed to develop well-structured answers. So how can you come up with well-structured answers? By developing an answer plan before you start typing the answer. So as I've highlighted earlier, most students, what they do is they read the question and straight away they start typing the answer. Don't do that, because halfway through you'd realize that you are headed in the wrong direction. So you'd have to delete your answer, waste a lot of time. So let go of all these inefficiencies, stick to our answer planning technique. Then you will be providing well-structured answers using paragraphs. And on top of that, whenever you are bringing in an argument, you are supposed to provide your justification. Please remember that you are playing the role of a finance manager at Happy Playz. So as a finance manager, you are involved with decision making. You are supposed to provide some recommendations to business problems. So whenever you are providing a recommendation, always you need to justify your answer. Without justifications, even if you had provided the correct recommendation, you won't get full marks. For the justification, you would get just 2 or 3 marks. Other than that, if you have so for the recommendation, you would gain something like 2 to 3 marks. But if the justification is lacking or the justification is not there, then you're not going to get full marks. So in order to address all these things, what you need to do is you just need to go through the answer plans we have developed for mocks 3, 4, and 5 and watch the videos. Then you'd have all the necessary level of knowledge pertaining to technical areas, application, as well as you'd understand the structure of the entire answer. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to do to develop good answers according to the examiner. Then the examiner asks you to do certain things before the exam. So what are these areas? Study all areas of the syllabus. So you can't leave out any parts of the syllabus because as per the CIMA examiner, anything and everything can be tested within your papers. Okay, so when we are developing our mock exams, we have made sure to cover all syllabus areas. So there's absolutely nothing for you to worry in this area. But if you are coming through an exemption route, such as the FLP or management gateway, then you might not be too conversant with these theoretical concepts. So in such a context, either you need to brush up your knowledge in these areas or you need to watch the videos which we have done. I said we have developed 12 videos where the answers pertaining to mocks 3, 4, and 5 are discussed. So if you feel that you lack an understanding about theoretical concepts as well as application, then by watching these videos you can cover these areas. Okay, you are supposed to study all areas of the syllabus, and application needs to be looked into. So as I highlighted earlier, in order to improve your application skills, watch the videos, refer to the answer plans which we are providing, and on top of that, you need to attempt mocks. Without attempting mocks, you can't improve your application skills. So as per our study plan, by now you should have attempted mocks 1 and 2, and after you had attempted 2 mocks, then when you are moving on to mock number 3, you would see some type of an improvement. Okay, because you have already done 2 mocks, up to a certain extent, what type of application is required, because you should have referred to the suggested answers pertaining to the first 2 mocks. And by referring to the suggested answers, you would know what type of application is required at your exam, and you'd have a better understanding or idea about what type of answers you are supposed to provide in your mock exams. Okay, so application, in order to improve it, watch the videos, refer to the answer plans, and start attempting mocks if you are yet to do it. Okay, and practice tasks. So please do not do it. Please don't start attempting mocks just because I am telling you to do it. The examiner is asking you to do it, so it's better to listen to the examiner. Practice tasks, and when practicing, type or write full answers. What are full answers? This is a situation where you are supposed to attempt the entire mock in one go. Entire mock means a full 3-hour paper, which consists of 4 tasks, 45-minute tasks. Okay, so you have to, as I highlighted earlier, sit in one place, allocate 3 hours, keep your phone away, be away from any type of distraction, sit in one place and attempt the entire mock, taking 3 hours of your time. By doing this, you are sticking to the guidelines provided by the CIMA examiner, and on top of that, you are practicing under simulated exam conditions. So you are going to feel comfortable at the real exam. You will be practicing answer planning technique. If you develop answer plans for 5 mocks, you will be developing answer plans 20 times. So you would be doing the same thing over and over again. Answer planning technique you would be replicating over and over again 20 times. And once you walk into the exam, it's going to be a walk in the park. You'd understand exactly how to develop answer plans, how to manage your time, and how to provide full answers. So practice, practice, and practice. You are supposed to practice 5 mocks at least. Before going into the exam, you have to practice at least 3 mocks. Okay, if not, forget about passing the exam, because if you do not practice mocks, you can't pass the exam, if I'm being honest with you, right? So that's that. Then during the exam, what are you supposed to do according to the examiner? You are supposed to plan your answers appropriately. So if you stick to our answer planning technique, then again you are adhering to the guidelines provided by the examiner. So if the examiner is asking you to plan the answers before you type your fully fledged answers, so do it. Okay, take 1/3 of your time, or allocate 1/3 of your time to develop answer plans. So 5 minutes to read the entire question, 15 minutes to develop an answer plan. Then the remaining 25 minutes should be allocated towards typing the answer. Okay, so if you stick to our guidelines, you would be fulfilling this. And on top of that, the examiner reminds you that the marker is under strict instructions to mark answers on their merits. So they are looking at the quality of your answer and how can you significantly improve the quality of your answer by developing answer plans. So allocate 15 minutes to think it through, develop an answer structure or an answer plan. Then your chances of passing the exam and developing a high quality answer improves significantly. Okay, so then let's try to figure out the marking criteria. 2 markers will allocate marks before the final mark is finalized. So I've seen some students complaining about not passing the exam, although they have developed good answers and whatnot. So there is absolutely no way that CIMA would get their marking wrong, because your paper is marked by 2 invigilators, and once both have allocated marks, it will be averaged out, and your final mark will be determined. So there's absolutely no way of you failing if you had provided good answers. Okay, so try to stick to our study plan, use all our resources in order to be in a position to pass your exam easily. Okay, and mark allocation for each subtask appears as a percentage under each requirement. Okay, so I highlighted these points about the weightages provided for each and every subtask, and based on the weightages, I said that you are in a position to determine the mark allocations, and based on the mark allocation, you are supposed to stipulate how many answer points needs to be there in your answer plan, and based on it, you can start developing your answers. So you are not blindly developing answer plans. Instead, you are sticking to the mark allocation for each and every subtask. So that's the smart way to score marks. So this is how the examiners are going to mark your paper. So it's better to adhere to the same methodology, understand the same methodology, and try to crack it. Okay, so that's exactly what we have highlighted in webinar number 3. So if you missed out on it, please go watch the recorded version. And again, marks are allocated based on merit. So quality is chosen over quantity. Just because you write lengthy answers, you cannot pass the exam. You have to provide specific answers which are totally in line with the requirement. So in order to do it, you have to keep practicing the answer planning technique which we have highlighted. Okay, so we are moving on to the second part of tonight's session, where I'll be talking about what you need to do to develop confidence before the exam. Why am I talking about confidence? Because as per the CIMA examiner, confident students end up passing the exam comfortably. Okay, so most students, as I've I'm reiterating this point, I've mentioned this point earlier as well. Most students make this mistake of waiting until the last 2 weeks until the exam, or waiting until the last week before the exam. And when you're trying to do everything within 2 weeks, there is a tendency, anybody would panic. However much studious you are, however much knowledgeable you are, when you try to do everything under the sun within 2 weeks right before the exam, there you'd be faced with chaos, and you'd be exposed to a stressful environment. So in such a context, you would walk into the exam hall with a negative attitude, and this negative attitude will show in your answers. Okay, if you are stressed out, the invigilator can tell it by looking at your answer, because if you're stressed out, your grammar would be off, there would be a lot of spelling mistake, answer planning technique, you would not utilize your answer planning technique appropriately, then you'd run out of time, you will not provide full answers or complete answers. And once the invigilator sees an incomplete answer, chances of you passing decreases significantly. So all these problems needs to be avoided. How can you do it? By being confident. So how are you supposed to develop confidence before the exam? Stick to the study plan which we have provided. So if you are to understand what you're supposed to do under the study plan, refer to the video of webinar number 1, where we explain the study plan in depth. And we have shared the study plan which I highlighted earlier. So try to stick to it. Even if you had not done any mocks up until now, according to the study plan, you should have done up until or attempted mocks until you should have attempted mocks 1 and 2. But if you have not done it so far, that's totally fine. At least try to stick to the study plan now and start attempting mocks. If you have not done mocks 1 and 2, that's okay. Go through the suggested answers and develop your answer plan based on the suggested answers, and start attempting mocks from the third one onwards. Okay, start now, seek tutor feedback, then you'd realize where you stand, where your answers stand, and based on that, and refer to the answer plans we have developed, then you'd better understand the structure of the answer, what you're supposed to highlight in your answer. Then watch the video, 4 videos per each mock, then you'd further understand what is highlighted within the suggested answer. Okay, stick to the study plan and stick to a routine when it comes to waking up and sleeping. At least now you have to start it. There's about 3 weeks until the exam. So in the upcoming 3 weeks, try not to miss sleep. There's absolutely no point of trying to do everything under the sun closer to the exam. Just stick to our study plan. Sleep properly, allocate 6 hours of continuous sleep at least on a routine, on a daily basis. Why? Because when you do, you are relaxed. Every day when you wake up, you are relaxed. When you had slept for 6 hours at a stretch, most students sleep for something like 3 to 4 hours on a daily basis closer to the exam. That's gonna mess up your mind. You'd be experiencing a lot of fatigue and stress. So in order to avoid such a situation, stick to a routine when it comes to waking up and sleeping. And according to the study plan, you're not supposed to do too much. Just allocate 3 hours to do a paper. Then it's a matter of just watching some videos, going through a document, and referring to the tutor feedback. All right. So I'm talking about a situation you are supposed to allocate something like 5 to 6 hours on a weekly basis. You can do it. You can easily do it. Okay. So let's assume you attempt mock number 3 on Tuesday. So that's 3 hours done. And on the remaining days, just allocate 1 or 2 hours of your time. Okay. So if you do it, you can wake up, you can sleep early and wake up at a stipulated time. Then you'll be relaxed closer to the exam. And focus on your daily meal intake as well. Try to stick to a routine in this area. Have the breakfast at a stipulated time. The same should be done with regards to your lunch and dinner as well. Because if you do, you'd fall asleep at a specific time, and you'd find it extremely easy to wake up as well. Okay, and when practicing mocks, what are you supposed to do? Practice under simulated exam conditions. You know for a fact that each paper has 4 tasks, so don't try to do task by task, attempt the mocks task by task on a daily basis. Instead, just when attempting your mock, attempt the full mock, allocating 3 hours of your time. And it's better if you can use the exam platform which we have provided, because it is developed to be akin to the Pearson VUE system. So it's as if you are attempting the paper at the real exam. So it's better to get used to or accustomed to real exam conditions by attempting mocks under our platform. And attempting mocks in isolation, I highlighted this point earlier. You should find a place where there aren't any disturbances when you are attempting your mock, and stick to the exam technique routine. 20 minutes should be allocated towards reading and developing answer plans, and 25 minutes should be allocated towards typing the answers. So keep practicing this technique, because if you do, then you are in a position to easily replicate the same at your real exam. And if you do, you'd be providing high quality answers. And on top of that, you will be managing your time appropriately. So that's what you are supposed to do to develop confidence before the exam. Okay, so on the day of the exam, what are you supposed to do to maintain the same level of confidence? Okay, before the exam, rest your mind and body. So according to our study plan, what we have stipulated is the exam window is on the 16th to the 18th of November. So let's assume you are doing the exam on the 16th. You have to stop all your work by the 14th of November. On the 15th of November, a day before your exam, you are supposed to relax. Okay, because you have done everything under your control. You have gotten access to best material. So you have prepared yourself. So it's better to relax a day before the exam. Why? Because you need to walk into the exam with an open exam hall with an open mind, because the examiner is trying to replicate a real life corporate environment. So in a real life corporate environment, you are not you are not in a position to forecast what type of problems the business might face. Instead, it's better to go with an open mind. It's as if you are walking into office on a Monday. So it's a new week. You cannot predict what type of problems you would face, what type of problems for which you will have to provide solutions. So it's better to go to the exam or walk into the office on a Monday with an open mind, with a fresh mind. So that's exactly why during the 7th week, which is from the 13th to the exam date, or 3 or 4 days before your exam, you are supposed to start relaxing. You are not supposed to attempt any mocks 3 or 4 days before the exam. Instead, you are supposed to refer to the study material, refer to answer plans. So out of the 5 answer plans, we are providing 3. So you are supposed to just develop 2. So you will have short notes or answer structures of all 5 mock exams. So closer to the exam, it's a matter of just going through the answer structures. Then you can easily understand all syllabus areas, theoretical content as well as application. Watch the recorded video of this webinar. Then that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, stop all work a day prior to the exam, sleep, eat, and rest well. Why? If you do all these things, then you are in a position to maintain your confidence on the day of the exam. So rest your mind and body. Do not refer to any study material, mocks, or answer plans on the day of the exam. So actually speaking, I'm asking you to do it a day before the exam as well. Do not refer to any study material, mocks, or answer plans. Think that you are the finance manager at Happy Playz. Always, try to get into this character. Try to figure out, okay, as a senior finance manager, if I am faced with this problem, what type of a solution am I going to provide? So that type of a mindset is going to help you extremely well at the exam. Okay, then let go of any negativity. So it's pretty basic, any type of student. Even I've gone through this when I was doing my exams. However much prepared you are on the day of the exam, you would feel a bit jittery. You would feel the butterflies in your stomach. Yeah, some type of exam stress will be there. you cannot avoid it, but try to let go of this negativity by reminding yourself that you have done your job. You have done all the preparations on time. So always remind yourself that you are headed in the correct direction. There's absolutely nothing to worry, because confident students have a high chance of passing the exam. Because when you are confident, you think like the senior finance manager, then you are in a position to provide better answers. Okay, and be open-minded, because that's what a finance manager is supposed to be. A finance manager is supposed to be open-minded at all times. And during the exam, what are you supposed to do? Stick to the exam technique routine. So if you have practiced it appropriately, then this becomes a walk in the park. 20 minutes to reading the question and developing answer plans, and 25 minutes towards typing the answers. And if you feel stressed during the exam, that's pretty basic, because out of the 4 tasks, at least one single task is going to be extremely hard. That's how the paper is developed. So the examiner is actually doing it, or providing a task which is extremely hard, in order to figure out whether you are in a position to handle pressure. Because as a senior finance, as a finance manager, that's what you're supposed to do. If you are supposed to play the role of a finance manager, you will be exposed to some type of stress. You'd be exposed to situations where you don't know what type of an answer you're supposed to provide to a business problem. That's totally fine. Remind yourself that you're not supposed to get full marks. Instead, you just need 80 marks to pass your exam. So out of 150, you just need 80 marks. So just because one single task is hard, don't ruin the remaining tasks as well. So let's assume you get an extremely hard task in your second task. Out of the 4 tasks, your second task is extremely hard. Don't let it affect the third and the fourth, the answers which you provide for third and the fourth tasks as well, because it's normal for you to experience a hard task out of the 4. Okay, so in such a context, when you are faced with a hard task, when you cannot think straight, what you're supposed to do is drink some water, because that's better to relax your nerves, calm your nerves down, and close your eyes and breathe slowly for 2 minutes. You might think that this is a wastage of time. Not exactly, because this oxygen intake is gonna improve your open-mindedness. It's gonna relax your brain, and once the brain is relaxed, you are in a position to arrive at better decisions. Okay, you are in a position to provide answers which are of a higher quality, because you have relaxed your brain. And in such a context, there won't be any disturbances. You would be taking the best decision. And remind yourself that you have done your homework. Whenever you feel down, remind yourself about what you have done in the past, and how you have prepared yourself. And also remind yourself that you just need 80 marks to pass, and give your best shot. That's what a finance manager is supposed to do. And be open-minded at all times, because if you're open-minded, then you'd have a mindset where you'd try to provide some type of a solution to each and every business problem highlighted within the questions. Even if you are not too conversant with a theoretical area, you'd think in a practical manner and provide an answer with appropriate justifications. And how would you achieve such a situation? By being open-minded. So if by any chance, if you feel stressed, drink some water, close your eyes, and breathe, focus on your breathing, then start typing your answers once more. Okay, so this is what you're supposed to do to maintain confidence on the day of the exam as well as during the exam. Okay, so these upcoming 3 weeks are going to be crucial. So within these 3 weeks, avoid these deflections. Okay, so some students try to emphasize too much on the exam blueprint. The exam blueprint is based on a previous case study, so don't go through it. Don't waste your time, because time is of essence in the upcoming 3 weeks, because you only have 3 weeks to prepare. So it's better off to focus on yourself rather than going through the exam blueprint, because everything which is highlighted, the most important points which are highlighted in the exam blueprint was discussed in today's webinar. I took you through the examiner's comments, and from webinar number 1 up until this webinar, everything which we discussed is aligned with what the examiner has highlighted within the exam blueprint. So don't go through this, don't waste your time, don't rely on predictions. I've seen so many tutors out there predicting about certain scenarios or certain questions which might be thrown at you. Don't rely on them, because as a finance manager, you are not in a position to forecast or predict what type of business problems will be thrown at you within a real life corporate environment. So don't rely on predictions. Don't spend a minute on industry analysis, because we have provided, out of the 4 pre-scene analysis video number 2 and 3 are about the industry dynamics which are highlighted within the pre-scene. So just watch these 2 videos, then you'd have all the necessary information about what happens within the industry. And on top of that, we have provided a mind map which is based on the pre-scene. We have provided something called the annotated pre-scene. So this annotated pre-scene is your mind map, and on top of that, we have shared TikTok videos with you. So within 3 videos, we have covered all the most important points highlighted within the pre-scene. So on a daily basis, when you wake up or once you're at office and when you are taking a break, just watch these 3 TikTok videos. Then you would know all the most important points which you need to remember. Okay, so we have made your life easier. Don't try to search for industry related information. Just go through the 2 videos which we have provided. Just watch the TikTok videos, go through the annotated pre-scene, and you can go through the PowerPoint presentations which we have provided, where I've conducted an industry analysis based on the real life industry dynamics. I've done it so that you need not go through company websites, statistics, research articles and whatnot to understand the industry. Instead, we have done it for you. So simply refer to the material which we have provided. And misguided use of past papers. Most students fail because they try to attempt past papers which are related to past case studies. So that's not going to work for you, because past case studies are based on different industries, different sectors. So in such a context, these type of questions which are based on a different company, different sector, is not too relevant to your exam. So don't utilize past papers. Instead, try to focus on attempting mocks which are relevant to your 100% relevant to your pre-scene. And information overload becomes a problem, because closer to the exam, students try to do too much, go through so many papers, go through so much of suggested answers and whatnot. So you need not do anything. Just stick to our study plan. On a weekly basis, attempt a mock. After you have attempted the mock, you are not supposed to do anything else. Just watch the videos, go through the answer plan, and refer to the tutor feedback. Then you are in a position to figure out how you are supposed to improve your answers. Okay, so all these deflections needs to be avoided. Stop wasting time. If you're planning to do these things, forget about them, because focusing on your skills and focusing on improving your skills is the most important thing in the upcoming 3 weeks. And if you are attempting the exam at home, before you attempt it, refer to the CIMA exam information page by going into this link, and read the content thoroughly before the exam, so you know what the guidelines, what type of guidelines CIMA has stipulated. You cannot, if you're attempting your mocks at home, you are not supposed to utilize any hard copies or soft copies. Okay, the invigilator will be watching you through the webcam. Okay, so you need to be really conversant with all these rules and regulations. So go to this page and read through to understand how your exam is structured and what your rules and regs are, and try out the CIMA exam platform by following the guidelines mentioned. So before you attempt the Pearson system for the first time, it's better to go through it, because these type of services are offered by CIMA, so utilize them. Okay, Any questions, guys? Any questions about the exams? So some of you might have done some mock exams. If you want some type of guidance pertaining to how to develop answers or how to improve the quality of your answers, you may ask questions now, or else if you need some information, technical information about the MCS exam, you can raise these concerns as well. Any questions, guys?
I have a question. This is Ntapi from South Africa. All I wanted to find out is
recording. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much for joining in. So that brings us to the end of all 4 webinars. And out of the 4, if you have missed out on something, please go check it out on our website. You can contact us via our website, which is www.study@tcs.com, or simply email us or drop us a message on WhatsApp. We are always there to help you. And follow us on our social media handles. And, we recently started our TikTok handle. So, follow it because relevant and concise information are provided in a precise manner. For instance, as I highlighted earlier, the entire pre-scene can be covered by watching the 2-minute videos, the 3 2-minute videos we are providing. So within 6 minutes, you are in a position to cover the most important points which are highlighted within the entire pre-scene. So follow us on our social media pages as well. And having said that, I wish you all the very best. If you have any concerns, please raise them on the WhatsApp group. Please get in touch with the tutors, myself, Jared or Shah. We are always ready to help you guys out. So thank you very much and all the very best. Good night.